Hi everyone, planner lovers, rejoice. It is the start of a new month, and one of the things that I love most is to organize my budget at the beginning of the month. It's something that I like because it makes me remember how to pay everything off, to make sure everything's taken care of on time, and that I'm not overspending in any categories. Recently, I fell in love with the Passion Planner. Here it is. So I want to show you how I went from grids to my July budget layout. Okay, so before we begin, let's take a closer look at the final product. I break it down into 4 areas. The first is my monthly goals for big and small goals alike. Savings, donations, and even something as simple as don't overspend budget on vacation are just a few examples. Next, my checking accounts. I'm old-fashioned and I love checking my accounts via online banking and mobile apps and things like that, but there's something about actually writing it down and making sure that I'm keeping track of my purchases that hold me accountable. And there's something about doing actual math that makes me not overspend or overdraft any of my checking accounts. The next box is my monthly bills. A check in the box means that I paid it, and I highlight it when it's cleared from my account. I do that just because it's the best way to make sure that everything was paid on time and there weren't any hiccups when I paid my bills. And lastly, the credit card section. I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on credit cards, but my husband and I have managed to use them responsibly so we can accumulate benefits. So to do so, I write down each purchase, the credit card I used, the amount, and the date to, again, hold me accountable. So that's the overview. Let's begin. So this can be done anywhere, a planner or an old sheet of paper or in an old notebook, which if you're like me, you have about 600 notebooks around your house. Anyway, I recommend using grids as it makes things a lot neater. For the top of the page, I use a pencil so I can try to keep my title neatly spaced, and I do a little fake calligraphy, which the basic idea is just fancy cursive and you color in on the downstroke anytime your pen goes down. Then I erase the pencil. I also have a tendency to want to use too many things and decorate too much, so I decided on only 3 for this: a black pen, gold glitter washi tape, and floral stickers. Next, I use a little washi tape for decoration at the top because, well, who doesn't like a little gold sparkle? Next up, my squares. When I'm in a hurry, or even when I'm not in a hurry, it's always tempting to just go for it, but I'm always happier when I use a ruler or some random straight edge item that happens to be laying around. All right, ooh, wow, look at that, just a little YouTube magic there. All right, moving right along. This ruler came with my Erin Condren planner. I decided to use my black flare pen because it writes gorgeously and it comes in a ton of colors. I add some dots before I start the lines because it just makes things easier, and then I go for it. I wipe off the ruler with some water on a napkin or paper towel because the leftover ink always finds a way to smudge and kind of makes a mess. So I add a little more washi tape to the bottom, and I'm ready for my floral stickers. This sticker book was on sale for $5, so I got it a few months ago. After deciding on the floral colors I want, I put stickers in the 4 corners and I'll put my titles in those. Then I cut up flowers for the edges, and I love using florals because they add a nice embellishment without taking up so much space that it becomes unusable and impractical. After that, I make my 4 categories. The first is monthly goals. I've always heard that a few attainable, clear, measurable goals is better than a lot of goals, so I'm gonna give myself space to write down 3. Moving along, I divide the next box into 2 areas, 1 for each of my checking accounts. Like I said before, writing down where I spend money holds me accountable and ensures that I don't spend more than I have. In my bills to pay box, I draw boxes for each bill that needs to be paid. For example, rent. When I've paid it, I put a check in the box, and then when I see it's cleared from my account, I highlight it so I know it's all done. I started doing this because one time a bill never got paid because I forgot to hit submit on something, and this just makes sure that everything goes through. I also write down the amount of the bill being paid. Fixed amounts like internet and rent are easier to budget for than variable ones like the electric bill. In that case, I estimate the highest it hopefully could be, and that's always better safe than sorry, and then I have a plan for the leftover money. Maybe it goes into my savings account, maybe I donate it, maybe I spend it, but there's always a plan for that. Lastly, the credit card box. I talked about this before, but this is another tool that holds me accountable. Writing down purchases and cross-checking them with my online apps also allows me to ensure accuracy as well. One final step. Add a few more flower stickers at the top. It's kind of easy for me to get a little carried away and keep going, and more stickers and more washi and more marker and more stickers. And my best advice is to just try your best to know when enough decoration is enough. So there you have it. That's how I set up my budget for the month. If you have any tips, please let me know. I'm always adjusting and changing things, so 2 months never really look the same. I'm always looking for ways to improve. So I'd love to hear your comments or suggestions. If you like this, you can give me a little thumbs up, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for joining.